In this special episode of Mighty Car Mods, we're heading to LA for just 48 hours for the Fast and Furious 7 trailer launch. We're gonna meet some fans, interview some actors, get some filmmaking tips from the director himself, and then head to a secret hangar to check out some of the cars from the movie. Plus, meet the guy that builds them. And if we're lucky, he's gonna give us some mad tips on the best mods for your car. So get mad, people, or should I say furious, whichever you prefer, for this special edition of Mighty Car Mods.
So we're going to a film premiere, realised we had no clothes suitable, so we bought some suitable things, some pants and some socks, Mum. That's all I'm going to wear, socks and some underpants.
That's Mighty Car Mods, man.
Yeah, hey man.
Hey, how you doing?
How you doing? I'm great, how are you?
Nice to meet you guys.
Thanks for watching, man.
Hey man, good.
Some local fans of Mighty Car Mods have organised a meet on the top floor of a car park in town, so we've jumped in a cab and we're on our way.
So we are in a cab in LA on our way to a Mighty Car Mods meet, which is in a car park,
That's right, a multi-storey car park, first time ever.
Yeah, it's been a bit of a kind of a last minute thing to pull this together. So we're about 20 minutes away, and as usual, we don't know if there's going to be one person there, two people. If we're lucky, I reckon there might be 3 people there. The meet just got shut down and security got sent up here to shut it down, and then they saw it was Mighty Car Mods and they were fans, and they said the meet can continue and we don't have to leave. You guys are coming to America!
After an awesome time meeting some local Mighty Mods fans, it was time to head back to the hotel.
This is Pimp, man.
Hey, do you guys want water?
This car's red.
You guys want water? I have water in the trunk. No waters? Okay. I have liquor too if you look in the middle right there. And where your elbow is,
That's
Marty,
epic.
there's a bottle of liquor right in there.
That's epic.
Alright, so we're getting a ride back to our hotel with our Jay Smooth here, and this is the Smooth-mobile. This is Mad Lexus, super VIP. You know, he's done the iPad install, done a bunch of cool stuff from our videos. He's a rapper here from LA. We just met him tonight in a car park at the Mighty Car Mods meet, and now he's giving us a ride back to our hotel at Universal City, which is awesome. We got his tunes on the radio, we're getting ice creams, got some mad drinks, and cruising downtown. It's awesome. It's the day of the Fast and Furious trailer premiere, and we're going to head down there, Martin. Okay, so we are at the worldwide trailer premiere for Furious 7 here in LA. Of course, everything's done big and massive the way they do it in Hollywood. All the stars are here, of course. Fans are going crazy. It's like a big circus, absolutely ridiculous. And we've been thrown into the middle of it. A couple of fools from a driveway in suburban Sydney. So here we are. We're about to go in and check out the actual trailer, which is going to be amazing. So who knows what's going to happen now? More craziness, no doubt. What are you excited to see today?
I'm very excited to just be here, be part of it, seeing the cars, seeing the people that are here. Paul Walker, so very emotional, I think, to me.
Yeah.
So happy to see you guys too. I didn't expect that.
Awesome. Have you been watching Mighty Car Mods for long?
I have a 240 SX myself.
Yes.
So it's a lot of help from you guys, and I'm getting a whole new set of toolbox. So
your favorite car? Go.
Honda Accord S2000 MX-5.
In that order.
Well, 2000 MX-5.
How crazy Fast and Furious fans are you?
Oh man, I'm a 10. I saw the last one about 8 times in theaters. Of any of the movies in the series, do you have a favorite?
The RX-7 and the Charger.
Bella, how old are you?
13.
So you saw the first Fast and Furious film when you were a baby?
Yes.
And you've been hooked ever since?
Yes.
What is it that you love about the movie so much?
The cars and the actors.
So have you had any suggestions of how Moog could make his Honda faster? What would they be?
New windshield wipers.
I've actually got a Mustang, a 99 Mustang.
Yes, and what about you? Don't say a Yaris or something like that. No. Or is he catching the bus?
No, I got just a Chevy Trailblazer.
What kind of cars do you like yourself? What are your favorites?
The Dodge Charger from Fast and Furious movies.
Every Fast and Furious film is like bigger and more massive. What do you think they're going to do this time to make it even bigger again?
Cars exploding, flying out of buildings.
So you've been bombarding your baby since she was 2 months old with the Fast and Furious franchise, is this correct?
Well, I put her to sleep with a little bit of smell of gasoline on her nose.
I'm here with Dennis McCarthy. He's the picture car coordinator for Furious7. Great to meet you, Dennis.
Likewise.
I want to ask you some questions about the cars.
Sure.
So how did you kind of get into the whole car thing in general?
You know, I've always been into cars, you know, I think from the age of 2. But, you know, had a shop, built hot rods. One thing led to another. Started building movie cars about, 10, 15 years ago, and been doing it ever since.
And so, I mean, we've seen some of the cars you've made for the other movies, and they're incredible, like importing things from Japan and putting V8s and, foil steering, those kind of things. Yeah. Can you give us any little insights of what we might see, or anything you're particularly excited about for this movie?
Well, the only one thing I want to say is there's an off-road sequence that is incredible, and we had the most fun building those cars. I mean, it was like a dream come true for me, and like I said, when you see the movie, it'll pay off.
So we always see a really nice combination of cars from different countries, in English cars, Japanese cars, US stuff. Do you have any kind of like personal favorites, or how do you see them like mixing together?
You know, I'm more of a muscle car guy, but with the cast, you gotta get the cars to fit the person, the environment. So we get it. We always get a great variety, which is what I love about the Fast series. It's just there's something in there for everybody.
And what do you think it is about modifying a car that really gets people excited?
I don't know. It's one of my favorite things to do, that's for sure, and obviously people enjoy it. I mean, it's just one of those things that's it just never gets old. You never run out of new things to build, never run out of new ideas. So it's great.
And last tip for anyone like kind of young guys who are looking to getting into it or see what you do and get excited about it. What do you think the best a couple of tips for those guys?
I mean, the best thing to do is just start now. Start as soon as you can. Start building cars. Anything that has to do with motorsports, to me, is always a great avenue to take because it teaches you to build cars that truly perform. And that's where I started. So,
Dennis, lovely to meet you. Thanks very much.
Thank you very much.
Dennis said that we might be able to go and visit his workshop later in the day, which would be awesome. So we're keeping our fingers crossed. While the premiere was a celebration, it was also bittersweet for a lot of the cast and crew after the tragic loss of Paul Walker last year.
Just being on the red carpet today, there were people that were wearing t-shirts for Paul, and it was so nice to see everyone honor him. And I mean, it's so hard to do this without him, obviously, but we get to revisit him and celebrate him when we see Fast 7, and so that's beautiful.
I guess there was a purpose to making this movie and to completing this movie, unlike anything I had ever experienced, because we had a loved one that we were honoring.
And with that, it was time to play the trailer. And the crowd lost their minds.
Okay, we are here with Jordana Brewster. We just saw the world premiere trailer of Furious7, which looks absolutely incredible. How was this experience? Like, it looked like a whole lot of fun.
I mean, it is a lot of fun. And it's a lot of fun watching the trailer, too, because a lot of it's done on green screen, so you don't know what the hell you're doing until you see it, and you're like, whoa, we look really badass.
Tell me, what kind of cars were you driving in this film?
In this film, I drove a minivan.
I love a minivan. There's some very fast minivans out there. We've seen some minivans doing like quarter miles faster than Ferrari, so that's cool.
I've actually shopped recently for a minivan. I feel like we need to make them look a little bit cooler, don't you think?
I reckon we can help with that. I reckon we could probably do it. We could pimp your minivan. We could possibly come back and do that. DP want to see that? We have a lot of girls watching our show. Over the last 7 years, we've been making Mighty Car Mods. What would your advice to them be?
I'd say, I mean, now I feel like there's pressure to represent, but I'd say just keep going. I mean, it's awesome. I love my car. I love driving, and I love driving fast, so we can do it too.
Now it's time for a bagel, Martin. Yes. In the bagel room.
Bagel.
Oh, there's half a muffin. Was that you? You're always the half a muffin bandit.
This is very exciting. We're here with James Wan. We're here in Hollywood. We just saw the world premiere trailer of Furious 7, and this is the director. This is the man that made it all happen. I heard Vin Diesel earlier saying you were the driving force that made this happen. Tell us about how this process kicked off. Like, how did you get involved and what happened?
Well, I was just finishing up The Conjuring, which was my horror film, and that film actually got me a lot of traction. And I love action. I've always wanted to do action, and the opportunity to work with these guys, you know, with Vin, Jordana, Paul, it was amazing, right? And so I came in and I pitched them my idea on what I would do with the film, and fortunately enough, they liked what I had to say, and here I am.
If you would have any tips for people who want to get into filmmaking or they're using GoPros, how they can use the equipment they have to make their car videos seem a bit more exciting, have you got any technical tips for us?
I do. I mean, you know, before I started doing bigger stuff like this, my background was low-budget indie films. My very first movie was Saw, that I made with my buddy in Australia, that we wrote in Australia, and we came over to America to shoot it. And the most important thing I would say to like aspiring filmmakers out there is just go out there and do it. Today, you guys have got amazing technology at your disposal here, right? Unlike what people had like 20, 30 years ago, or even 10 years ago now. Technology has made such a huge leap that you can get the smallest cameras and you can do really inventive things with it. There's no one holding you back except yourself now, so there's no more excuses.
What sort of car have you got?
I have a Prius and a Tesla.
And on that bombshell that the director of Furious 7 drives a Prius, we've just had word that Dennis has invited us down to his hangar. Like some kind of automotive nirvana, we're in the workshop of one of the world's best automotive fabricators and car modifiers, whose cars have appeared on films such as Batman Begins, Resident Evil, Red Line, Ninja Turtles, and of course, cars from the Fast and Furious series. And today, he's going to show us around.
So we're here with Dennis McCarthy, and this is an honour, man, to be here in your workshop to see all these cars that you guys have produced.
Hey, it's an honour for me that you guys are here, so yeah. Thank you very much for coming by.
You're a car guy, you're a modified car guy, which just puts you to the next level up. Tell us a little bit about some of these cars you've got. I mean, I can see cars from all sorts of movies here and all different, like, Fast and Furious movies and stuff, so maybe we just start at one end and you can give us a bit of a run-through.
Yeah, absolutely.
What you've done.
The half of a GTR you see there in the corner, that's from Furious 7.
Yep.
One of many. That one didn't fare too well in the end, but you know, still some good parts there.
So is that the kind of car that'll get, like, they chop it up so they can film through it?
To get those perfect angles, yeah, to get those exact camera angles they need, and you know, so it's sad, but we do a lot of that.
How's it feel to chop a GTR?
You know, I've been doing it for so long, I've got over, but yeah, initially it's pretty painful. And there's still some cars today that are still painful for me to do. It's like, oh, you know, the Sawzall and the plasma cutter, oh, this isn't a good idea. But anyways, yeah, part of the job.
Yep.
We have the Aston DB9, also from Furious 7. Yep. The Roadrunner, the Cuda, these are two stunt cars in need of some help, which were basically duplicates of what was out on the carpet today.
Yep.
Another one of our stunt Cudas, which all these cars have, you know, fuel-injected 500 horsepower motors, turbo 400 transmissions, 9-inch diffs. Yep. I have basically a standardized powertrain in every car.
And why do you pick 500 horsepower as a number?
It's enough.
It's enough.
It's enough,
so
yeah. 400 is not enough. So 500. And it's a crate motor, it's turnkey, it's very easy, readily available. So like I said, whether it's a Ford, Buick, Chevy, you know, whatever it is, they all get the same powertrain.
So I mean, we noticed that there's like more than one of each car. So that's obviously a filming thing because they're going to destroy a few of them. Is that why? Or?
A lot of reasons. One, you know, if you're on set shooting, you never want to be without a car. So if something happens, a car breaks, a car gets crashed, the other one has to be sitting right there and pull right out and go, because time is money, but in this case, it's a lot of money. So we can't be without a vehicle. Yeah. And then there's separate units filming at separate times, different locations. Some cars might be rigged for a specific stunt. There's just a lot of reasons. So, I mean, for instance, like I said, one of the most iconic cars from the franchise right here. I think on this film, we built somewhere 8 or 9 of these to accomplish everything we needed.
How do you find them?
These are pretty hard to find.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
I mean, there's really not a lot left of the original car. I mean, basically, we buy basket cases and we utilize basically the A-pillars, the roof, the tops of the quarter panels, the floor pan. That's about it.
And you remake everything else you need?
Yeah, the doors, the sides, you know, the quarter panel sides, that all comes from year one. We actually created our own front clip because it just got so costly to try to track down fenders and hoods and bumpers.
Yeah.
So we actually you know, made our own mold, and we have a place called Hanneman Fiberglass that pumps these guys out for us.
Yep.
Everything suspension-wise is completely aftermarket.
Right.
Riley Motorsports K-frames, you know, 4 9-inch. It's all coil-over suspension.
Yep.
Brembo Brakes supplies us with amazing brake systems.
Yep.
You know, and like I said, this is obviously a car that we've built a lot of these, so we're very good at it. They're completely dialed in. I mean, you know, these are ones that my guys can actually put together pretty quick.
So you could basically put in an order, like, you know, you and you guys could just go, right, we need to make one, and how long would it take to put it together?
Less than 2 weeks.
Really?
From
scratch?
Rusted shell to that car would be less than 2 weeks.
Incredible.
So.
And we got some JDM stuff and Japanese cars as well over here.
Yeah, another Fast 7 car. I'm sure you can imagine what character that was for.
Yeah.
Subaru donated, you know, 5, 6, maybe 7 of those to us. As always, they're completely durable. They're problem-free.
Yeah.
They're easy. We don't really. The nice thing about the Subarus is we do very little to them.
They're already fast. I mean,
they're fast. They don't need anything. So I mean, wheels, tires. I think we changed the hood, roll cage, and you know,
I got a soft
rally style cage. Yeah, no, they're. We had them on the 4th one, which was out in the desert in Mexico. I mean, just abusing them to no end and never one failure. So
incredible.
They're definitely a proven vehicle.
So Dennis, a build that we recently did, speaking of Subarus, so we got an old like mid-90s Legacy, the old Legacy wagons. You see them driving around, and they're like 2 litre or 2.5 litre.
Yep.
And then we got a Subaru Tribeca, which is their big SUV, which is a 3.6 litre quad cam naturally aspirated motor. And we put a big Garrett turbo on it, and the idea was to get into the 11 second down the quarter mile, which we managed to do just on 8 pounds of boost. And some pretty fancy tuning stuff. So yeah, we're in the kind of category of Lamborghinis and Ferraris.
That
certain
is
ones.
really. I gotta see that.
We'll show you. We'll show you some of that. But yeah, that's why we got a bit of a soft spot for the old Subarus. I've had a lot of them. So
they're great. Yeah, no.
Glad to hear that they did well.
They did.
That's good to know.
They did. The worst thing, the only real mishap, we had one of them actually fall off of a car carrier on the way to set.
Is that
and get hit by a truck. So
that's the only problem you had.
That was the only problem we had.
There's some more iconic cars here that people might recognize.
Too Fast, Too Furious, yeah, everybody knows that car. That's another car that Universal typically keeps on display right now for Halloween. They're shuffling some things around, but it'll be back up there soon. And yeah, those cars are, you know, like I said.
This is really iconic. I mean, for a lot of people, Skylines and GTRs in particular are a big deal. And also, I understand in America that the R34 is a hard one to get hold of anyway.
They're very hard to get, and there was a lot imported various ways that have been getting exported at a rapid rate lately.
Yeah.
So it's very sad. If you own one, you know, you better hide it.
Yeah.
So these were really my favorite car of the entire film. This is Dom's vehicle. Does a lot of extreme off-road work. I really wanted one to survive in pristine condition, and it didn't happen. This one here is one that actually came out of an airplane and successfully landed, and unfortunately a gust of wind picked up, grabbed the chute, and dragged it across the Arizona desert. So that's why you see the cactus and the sticks and everything.
It's still as it got pulled out of the desert.
Yeah, but I actually, between these two, which are runners, and this one, which is just a stage car, I have enough parts to put one back together.
So that's the plan?
So that's the plan, yeah. This is one car that I really, even if I had to do it at my own expense, it has to be brought back, because it was such a great vehicle.
And this has you're saying you put like a standard package in to get a certain amount of power. Tell me a bit about
Same engine package. It's a LS3, 500, just over 500 horsepower, turbo 400 trans, 9-inch differential, 488 gears. You know, basically, like I said, it's pretty much the same powertrain that goes in every car, which is great, because that way, if we wreck a car and another car gets, you know, we can always juggle parts around. You know, so. You know, same powertrain that the Camaro had, same powertrain that the Mustangs have, same power, you know, like I said, we've been using that same one for years and years and years, and it works great, so.
This looks like the kind of thing that's going to end up in a desert, I'm just guessing. I mean, we've seen the trailer and the stuff falling out of airplanes, and I saw some of these cars doing some pretty crazy stuff, so. It's going to be pretty exciting.
So Dennis, there's probably a lot of people watching right now that would look at your job and just go, this is the ultimate. I'm assuming there must be some challenges as well working on cars, because we see all the fun stuff on screen, but I'm assuming modifying a car and modifying a car so it fits a director's vision are two very different things. Is that correct?
Very true. They are correct. It is the ultimate job, but there are definitely some challenges. The obvious one is just make sure the cars run, having enough cars, not running out of cars.
But then it's having the right guys on set, the right guys to fix the car. I mean, for instance, if the Subarus go out to set, I have, a set of guys that, worked on those cars. They're on set with a car. If this car goes out, there's the guys that actually built the car. So it's always putting the right guy in the right spot with the right car, because otherwise, something will break and no one will know how to fix it. So.
And how many people would you have here, like working on a film like, Furious7? Like, how many people are actually out here working on cars?
Yeah, we'll have 60, 70 people sometimes on these shows. Wow. Yeah, I mean, they might not all be right here, but some will be out at a test track, some will be out on location. It's all over the place. It's very, very busy. There's stuff constantly moving. It's like I said, I wish you guys were here when it was going on, because it's a completely different environment here when we're full force.
Yeah, wow. And so are the people that you have here, are they kind of all-rounders, or do you have specialists like this guy is the turbo guy, this guy is the welder guy? Like there's just specialists that are they just dominate that one specific component of the build?
Yeah, absolutely. I got a guy named Scott Risley, Bob McKee, Luke Orr, some true fabricators. Then we'll have just some guys that are general knowledge of pretty much everything. Yeah, the electrical guy, we have computer guys, so yeah, you definitely got to find the right person for the right job. Off-road guys, shop guys, everybody has their, typically everyone has that one thing they're really good at it. So it's finding out what that is and putting them on that project to get the best possible outcome, out of the vehicle.
My last question for you is, and this is our fans here of Mighty Car Mods, so most of the people that are watching our show all around the world, there are millions of viewers, they're all into working on their cars. A lot of people don't have a lot of skills, don't have a lot of budget, but they all want to know how to make their cars better. From the master himself, if you had just 1 or 2 tips on, like, someone gets a stock car, it's their grandma's car or their mum's car or something, they want to make it a bit better, what would be the things that you would suggest, that the kind of aspects of the car that they should look at?
Well, I would start with, handling, brakes, things of that nature, but the number one way to go the right direction is testing. Take the car to a racetrack, get a stopwatch, because that's what we do. I mean, because sometimes just driving the car around the block, you can't tell, but you need to get it to, if it's an off-road car, we'll take it and we'll build a jump and we'll keep extending that, we'll video it, we'll study the footage, we'll watch how the shocks land, how the dampening works, everything, or if it's a road race car, whatever, we continually test and you just track it, and then when you're going the right direction. It's hard if you don't have that opportunity to go the right direction.
Yeah. Well, absolutely incredible. Dennis McCarthy, it's a pleasure to spend some time with you. Congratulations on all the amazing work you did for Furious7 and all of the other films. And it was so incredibly kind to have us down here, because this is a weekend, and I know you got places to be, but this is just a dream come true to meet you, and we've been following you for a long time and to see all your cars. So there he is, everyone, Dennis McCarthy, car modifier and creator of the film movie cars that you all have seen and loved extraordinaire. Absolute pleasure. Thank you so much, Dennis.
Door's always open for you guys. So
Thank you so much.
Mind completely blown.
It was amazing.
That was so
absolutely
cool.
Amazing. And that brings us to the end of our very speedy 48 hours in LA.
Yep.
Now we got to go jump on a plane, Martin.
That's right. As usual, everybody was very hospitable and friendly.
Yeah.
Love it.
Awesome to meet some fans, meet some filmy people.
See some incredible cars.
And then see some awesome cars. Now, of course, you can keep your eyeballs on Faceballs. That's faceballs.com/Mighty Car Mods. And we'll be back to our regular programming next episode, won't we, Martin?
What a mad adventure.
What a mad time. All right, see you, peeps.